signal. So we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to air. Or less than 2 minutes.
2 minutes to air. How many minutes to water?
Thank you. 35 seconds to air. All right.
You're all set up with the camera shot as far as it goes. It looks like
Tell me when I'm at 15 and I'm killing mics at 15. Killing mics at 15.
If you need a drink, just let me know. I'll get you a cold drink.
14,
I keep them on just
13,
in case.
12, 11, 10.
Political two-step show. Political two-step show. And the latest information. The political two-step show. You need to know.
This is the Political Twist Up Show. PoliticalTwistUp.com if you didn't know. Here to put you in the zone. Dealing with real issues, real relevant on the real radio.
Political two-step show. Political two-step show. Political two-step show.
You're cooling out with the Political Twist Up Show.
Political two-step show. It's the political two-step show.
Love, lust, faith,
Check 1, 2. There we are. I got a mic now. We are live at Cedar Point, right down in front of the Gateway. Welcome live. It is the Political Twist Up Show from the Iron Lab Studios. We have a lot of stuff to go over today, and we got a brand new ride to do it in front of. Our chief guest on the program today is Cedar Point expert and aficionado, Annie Zelm. Welcome to the program, Annie.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Wait a minute. We got a dead mic. Is that mic on? There we go.
Hello.
There we go. Now we got you.
You got me? All right, good. Well, it's a little, I'm glad we have these speakers because as you can see, there are so many screams in the background. Everyone is just flying right over the gate and they're loving the ride that's behind us. Of course, Gatekeeper.
Boy, right here inside the entrance at Cedar Point, there are so many different rides accessible right from here. So many different corners where screams of enjoyment are coming from. It's a fantastic place to be.
It is, and there's been a lot of hullabaloo about this ride before it went up, and in fact, if I remember correctly, it was last year at our broadcast that you announced the destruction of the former rides that were here so that you could make room for the entrance for this grand escapade. It's a really beautiful ride.
Yes, I think it complements our beach so well. If you recall, previously we had Disaster Transport and the Space Spiral that were here at about this time of year. And being on a peninsula, we're a little bit landlocked, so we always have to make the best use of our space possible. And those rides were demolished last year to pave the way for Gatekeeper and a completely new renovation of Cedar Point's front gate.
It's
Wow.
kind of like Tetris in here.
Yes.
And as you speak to that, when you get on the ride, you can really sense its grand scale. When you get to the top of it, you can see Lake Erie beneath you. That is really neat.
Yeah, I think that's the best part. I tell people if you ride on the left side, you get the best view in the park. But if you ride on the right, you get more near misses. So either side, you'll get a great experience. It'll just be two very different ride experiences. If you're
Very
on the-
exciting.
You get the perspective from either side of the wing. You got the park side or the lake side, and either way, it's just a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of surprises on Gatekeeper. All the time you're experiencing close calls. The ride lasts about 2 minutes, 40 seconds, so you really get your wait time's worth.
And in roller coaster world, that's a very long ride, isn't that correct?
It's a nice long ride. Just to compare, a ride like Top Thrill Dragster only lasts 17 seconds. It may be the most intense 17 seconds of your life, but it's a relatively short ride for the amount of time you might spend waiting.
You know, we've been right here by the entrance of the Gatekeeper, and the lines are remarkably moving very quickly, too. There's not a whole lot of delay to get access to the park's newest attraction. It's really pretty amazing the way they've got it set up.
Yeah, we call Gatekeeper the people mover. It's a people eater because it really can crunch people through there very, very quickly.
It's the blue
about
people eater.
1,700 riders per hour. So it's moving, and those ride operators are really good about staying on track and making sure everybody exits quickly so we get as many people through the line as possible.
I can see why you didn't call it the people eater, though. That would probably be a disincentive for people to ride the ride.
Well, it is consuming them rapidly as you see them moving into the ride.
For those of you that can probably see us behind us in the backdrop is the Gatekeeper. We are literally that close to the action here at the Twist Up broadcast at Cedar Point.
Now, this ride started, the first day you guys were open, May 11th?
May 11th was the first time that most people got a chance to ride on Gatekeeper, but Steve and some other very special people with the media and our coaster enthusiasts got to be here early for Media Day.
Well, Ryan was my ride partner on the front seat of that ride, and it's as witnessed on the front side of the politicaltwistup.com website. What are you saying, Ryan? What are you trying to tell us over there?
I don't think my mic's working.
It's working just fine. I can hear you.
You can hear me. All right. Well, yeah, I was your partner on that. I was smiles from ear to ear that anybody that saw that. It was the coolest experience. I ride all these coasters. I've been coming here, since I was a little kid. There's nothing like being on the side of the track. It's like you're in free space, almost like your own jetpack. It's amazing.
You know, I met a couple of other enthusiasts at the park today earlier when I was investigating the 50th anniversary of the train, and I know that we'll talk about that a little later in the broadcast.
Oh,
but what a great park you've got in fun enthusiasts, coaster enthusiasts, train enthusiasts. You're
Did you go
satisfying
to
an awful lot of
engineer
people
school?
out there.
Did you have
That's right.
engineer school today?
No, I did not. They wouldn't school me because I don't pass the entrance exam.
Okay, so now what are as it relates to this ride, since we're right in front of it, you got to tell us what the big features are about this ride. I mean, what's its scale and dimensions? What can people expect when they get on it?
Sure. Well, first of all, we're going to take you up 170 feet right along the beach. So again, if you're on that left side, you're just looking right into the lake and looking and hopefully getting a little bit freaked out at that point. If you're on the other side, you're looking into the park and you're thinking, boy, that is a long way down. Then we're going to drop you down almost as far as we took you up. We drop you down 164 feet, and then we whip you right into that first drop, which is called a wing over drop. That means that you are doing a 180-degree twist as you go down. As you plummet 164 feet, you're twisting and actually going upside down.
You know, because Rick did not have the added dimension of having the advantage of riding this ride before today.
No, I did not.
And he still has not been on that ride, so...
you're in for a surprise.
We're going to try and do a walk on at the end of the ride. We'll walk you up on the front of the ride, Rick, and let you see what you think from the front chair.
And I'll have my very first time ever, fortunately not recorded for everybody to see.
I'm not
I
riding
may
with
not
Rick.
be very manly on the ride. Just letting
Just
everybody
don't ride
know.
behind Rick.
I'm not riding next to him. I'm in front of him.
Now, the thing with... now, I think we got an opportunity to maybe bring some other people on the ride with us. Why don't we put some people on the ride with you, Rick?
Oh, well, I hope we get a lot of people to come on the ride. I know we're doing a very special event at the end of our broadcast for those people that are walking by. Make sure to come back closer to 4 o'clock because you may get a special treat.
Well, we got some trivia lined up to get on
I was
that.
going to say, did you bring
we do.
cake?
We'll make you earn it.
Yeah,
So
well, if you know your stuff
if
about
you know
the
your
rides.
stuff about Cedar Point, and a lot of these people do. I know a lot of times we'll have season pass holders through the park, and they've been here many times already to ride Gatekeeper. But even if it's your first day, if you've never been to Cedar Point, we'll give you some clues, perhaps. You can check out the Cedar Point app that'll help you with some of these things, at least give you a lay of the land of what's here and what rides and attractions you can expect.
How can they find that Cedar Point app?
You can go to the Cedar Point website, really easy, cedarpoint.com, and you can actually download the app for free. While you're here, it's a great way to give you some guidance through the park all day long. It tells you really easily and quickly how tall you have to be for certain rides, if you have kids with you, what rides you might want to hit first, and
And what I liked about using that, because I have experience using that app. I was using that app last night. We kind of got lost leaving the park. We were going back to the hotel, and I'm like, oh, where are we supposed to go from here? I thought it was over. I thought we were here, but it's not where we are. So what do we do? And you can open up the app and write, if you've got the GPS on your phone, on your smartphone, it'll point on the map where you're at, and you can see where you're trying to go, and you can just kind of make your way through the maze.
Yes, it makes it really easy for you to navigate your way through here. So it's a big park. I understand if you've never been here before, it can be a little overwhelming. We have about 364 acres of fun and fantastic things here. So
I walked nearly all of them yesterday, I can tell
I
you.
think you did.
Well, I can tell you, too, that there are a lot of reasons that you'd want to use the app other than just navigation, too. Certain rides are available for early riding and perhaps late times, too. Plus, to find out hours of operation and things like park safety rules, things of that nature.
You know what I thought would be a great application for that app? Tell this to the people at the park. Ride status. So if a ride goes down, somebody can signal something on the site that says, hey, the ride's down, or here's how long it's down for, or it's down indefinitely, or it's up all day, or you know what I mean? You can check the status of rides, because we got off of a ride because it stopped
Or time status,
and
just
then we went
wait.
somewhere else, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if it's working again yet, you know?
Yeah,
So
another place where you can get some of that in real time is to follow our Twitter account.
oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's at Cedar Point, and so really easy for you. It makes it really convenient to know
do you
what's
tweet
going
out the
on
ride
that
statuses?
day. Not always, but if we know of something that's going to be down all day, we may share
You can give
that
us
and just give people a heads up. Hey,
general
by the
idea.
way, sure.
That's great.
Sure, and when things are back up again too, that's sometimes that's a concern. You want to know, and we may not always know on some of the rides that go down. We may not know exactly when they're coming back up, but
Right.
if we know, we can share that.
Hey, I need to know if the teacup ride is up or not. Is the wading pool open? That's my speed.
I saw you shuffling on over there and couldn't wait to get in line for that.
That's right. Push the kids aside, I did.
Now,
He was wet all the way up to his knees.
I was going to ask you what's new about the park this year, but I know something else that's new. You guys have adjusted your Fast Pass program. Tell us about the Fast Lane and what that's about.
Sure. Well, we actually offer now a Fast Lane and a Fast Lane Plus. And the Fast Lane Plus is like your top tier, the premium Fast Lane that will get you on everything, including Gatekeeper and Top Thrill Dragster. Get you on more than 20 rides, which include those really big ones that, let's face it, most people want. They buy Fast Lane to get on Gatekeeper,
The ones
to
with the biggest
bypass the
rides.
line on Top Thrill Dragster. That's where it's at. So, and that's $15 more than regular Fast Lane. So I often tell people, it's worth it it's worth it just for those two rides
It
to
is.
get
It
to
really
the front
is.
of the line.
Back to the 17 seconds. People will pay
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's just that good.
It's worth the bonus, and I suggest bringing the extra change with you because it goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Especially on a day like today when the weather is so nice and wonderful, it's sometimes a challenge.
I have to tell you, I've been up to the front gate 3 times today just to meet people and make sure our people were where they were supposed to be. I saw so many people just looking up. They weren't coming in yet. They were just watching the Gatekeeper overhead. It was so cool.
It really is a fascinating ride, even from the outside. And the way that you placed it here amongst all the other existent things, it's really fantastic. It must be a big jigsaw puzzle for the designers to continually be improving Cedar Point the way that they have.
Absolutely.
I meant to mention that if you want to get great discounts on tickets before you come to the park, you can always do that at cedarpoint.com, right?
Cedarpoint.com, you can save $10 just by buying online, and we
Okay.
also have a promotion where you can type in best deals.
Okay.
Going to break.
We'll be right back. We're going to break. We're coming right back live at the Gatekeeper at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Stand by. It's the Political Twist-Up Show on the Multimedia Digital Network. The Political Twist-Up Show.
Hi, Buddy here, inviting you to enjoy huge summer savings at Clio Cultivation. We work closely with the manufacturers of your favorite products to guarantee the lowest prices and highest quality. By getting to know them, we can really understand how to maximize your yield and quality. We can even tell you how our products perform and why they work. If you don't need the knowledge, share your wisdom with us and enjoy our discounts with at least 15% off everything, real MSRP. Daily 10 to 7, Saturdays 10 to 5, closed Sundays. Now offering Happy Frog and Ocean Forest for less than $13.95. Raptor 8-inch reflectors $199. Super Red HPS Hortilux lamps $99. 1,000 watt switchable ballast $89.95. 8 light T5s $189. And Can Fan 8-inch inline just $99. Your home away from home is at 11394 North Saginaw Road or call 810-686-GROW. At Clio Cultivation, we are only here for you.
If you or someone you know received a traffic ticket, has been charged with a misdemeanor, drinking and driving, criminal offense, or has had their driver's license taken away, they need an attorney. They need attorney Glenn McCandless. He's helped hundreds of people solve their legal problems over the past 16 years.
My law firm is dedicated to providing quality legal services at affordable rates.
Call us at 586-755-2900. Again, that's 586-755-2900. Call now.
Here are some tips to keep your campfire from becoming a wildfire. Always keep campfires small and contained. Clear away all burnables near your fire site. Keep water on hand to put out your fire before leaving. Never bury your embers. They might flare up after you leave.
The Political Twist Up Radio Show.
Okay, welcome. We're back right out in front of the Gatekeeper, live at Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio. It's a beautiful day outside. We were out at the beach earlier this morning taking pictures, enjoying the beautiful weather, checking out the beach, checking out the fish and the there's a lot of wildlife out there. You see the storks and you got what was it? That blue herons? You were checking out the
Blue herons, storks, all kinds of things, piping plovers. There were all kinds of different creatures out there.
Did you run into any Lake Erie water snakes?
Yeah, we did see a snake. We did see one out there. I don't know what it was, though.
They like to sun themselves on the rocks. As you're coming up the causeway, if you look over on the edge, sometimes you'll see a whole family just kind of hanging out and sunning themselves there.
That's where we were, was on the causeway in the do not go here area.
Wildlife tips with Annie Zelm. She's the new Jungle Larry.
Oh, good luck. Yeah, so Jungle Larry's no longer here. What's where Jungle Larry? What's there now? Where Jungle Larry used to be?
I wish I had known Jungle Larry. And remind me where I know.
It was actually Power Tower is taking up the Jungle Larry
area.
I'm an old guy. I remember that kind of stuff.
Back when they were still doing the boat tour around the island too,
Yep.
and Pirates Island.
That is actually has been invaded by dinosaurs now.
Oh no!
So
it's cool.
Yeah. We have about 50 moving, roaring dinosaurs that moved in here last year, and they took over our paddle wheel excursions. We used to have families. We used to have people come through and take a little boat ride around the
paddle wheel
island.
boat.
Yeah. So, and it is an actual island. We've renamed it Adventure Island. So it's host to lots and lots of very, very old dinosaurs that kids can walk by and see. It's fun because they really get to have a feel for what life might have been like millions of years ago.
These are like animatronic kind of things?
Animatronic. They'll move, they'll roar, they catch you by surprise as you're walking around the corner. Yeah.
It's the real Jurassic Park.
You know, I go to a lot of city council meetings and I see, angry dinosaurs at those places too. And sometimes I think they're animatronic as well, but yours are a lot more fun than the ones I normally deal with.
Yeah, these
we deal with dinosaurs of our own usually at the council level.
Yes, ancient ones with outdated philosophies.
So, now, besides the dinosaurs, is there anything else? The dinosaurs were actually here last year, weren't they?
They were. We've expanded on that exhibit just a little bit.
Really?
We've added some new dinosaurs out there. So if you haven't seen dinosaurs alive, or even if you have, it's great to walk back there and just check it out. It's really worth your time. It's worth the extra couple of dollars. It's $5 extra to walk through there, but it does allow you to just walk through at your own pace. You know, it's one of those attractions where you don't wait in line and then it's over. You can actually just spend as much time browsing.
Just kind of wander around in there.
Yeah, a lot of kids will stay back there. And I tell you, you get kids in dirt together, and it's a match made in heaven. They'll just be digging through the dirt.
I have a dirty kid.
You're one of those.
I have one of those. I have a 10-year-old.
I am a dirty kid.
I have to tell you, we brought her here after our Halloween show.
Last year's Halloween show, and we took her right to the dragster.
We're
talking about Halloween weekends at Cedar Point.
Yes, that's correct. And we got her on the dragster. We then took her to the Power Tower and did the drop. No problem. We took her to the force. She looked over at me and said, "Dad, are you going to damage me like this all day?" And she wouldn't ride anything else. I took her on the 3 biggest rides, and she had had enough. I don't do the little rides. We do big rides. So I'm trying to prep her and get her on the team. So
rattled her brain around in the pan enough, she'd said no more.
That's it. She had enough. But they're great rides.
The dinosaur area is one of those more shaded areas in the park too. So on a hot day like today, it's a great place for people to go to sort of beat the heat, isn't it?
It is. It's really unique in that you do feel like you're stepping back in time, millions of years. Really timely with Jurassic Park coming out. You know, we have the sequels coming out, and it's not necessarily based off of that, but many of the dinosaurs that you'll be able to recognize from the movie, and you can look at the signs and say, "Hey, I know what that is now."
That's
I know
so
what that
cool.
Velociraptor really is all about.
Velociraptor is pretty obvious to me.
Yeah.
Stay away from him.
There was a
Right.
gigantic dinosaur right out greeting guests as they walked in the park last year. Is that guy still out there?
He's still out there. We have
Yeah.
about 8 of them scattered throughout the park.
You know,
And-
that's a great place to take a photo, too. I mean, you'll always remember a picture if you're underneath a Triceratops, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, we've got the T-Rex out front, so you can't miss him.
That's
it looks,
scary.
It looks interesting now that you have T-Rex and Gatekeeper both guarding the front gate. So you think of it as, you know, you have two spirits kind of watching over Cedar Point now. You have the spirit of the Gatekeeper, which we have a large griffin is kind of the mascot.
It's right on the front of each cart.
Right on the front. Oh yeah, you see that huge griffin, and then T-Rex. I mean, you don't want to mess with him, of course.
Now, you were talking about some features of the Gatekeeper. Did you want to tell us some more about the Gatekeeper, or we're done with Gatekeeper?
Sure, we'll talk a little bit about the construction and some of the unique things that people will experience when they're on the ride. We got about as far as the drop.
Right.
And then I think we had moved on a little bit, but I'll just talk you through what it's like to be on that ride. So after that 170-foot lift, we're going to drop you down 164 feet.
Right.
We're taking you right into what we call a wing over drop, meaning that you're actually going through an inversion. You're going 180 degrees, either flipping up if you're on the left side or dropping right down if you're on that right side.
Right.
And then we take you you roll right into another inversion, which is known as an Immelman. This
An
is actually,
Immelman?
yeah, it's actually a maneuver that was named for jet fighters. It's a defense mechanism.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was used during World War II. These planes would
pull an Immelman on Ryan later.
Yeah, pull an Immelman.
Just to shake your pursuers, then. Yeah.
Now,
Nice.
after the Immelman, then you go through the gate, the keyholes at the top there. That's kind of a little scary.
Oh yeah, that's one of the most unique things about this ride is that experience of just narrowly slotting through our keyholes. You make it through just in time. You're looking at that, and if you've never been on the ride before, it really does look like you are not going to make it.
You're going to kind of slam into some cement there.
Yeah,
but ta-da, you sling
we know
around.
you make it, but everybody that's experiencing Gatekeeper for the first time, boy, I see a lot of people lifting legs up, flinching, maybe shrinking down a little bit.
It absolutely
especially those tall
reminds me
guys.
of, Gemini.
Yeah,
when you
when
go
you-
down the first hill,
That
it's
head
like you
chopper.
bring the old good stuff and blend it with the new. So that's the first thing I thought of is, whoa, I'm going to lose something.
Because the Gemini, they're like, everybody's got their arms up, and then when they see the tunnel coming, or not the Gemini, the Magnum, when you see the tunnel coming and you kind of jerk your hands back down
Yeah.
because
We
you're
have
like,
a-
oh, you want to duck in.
We have those on Gemini and on Magnum.
Oh,
We
that's
have
right.
those head chopper effects, and we
Yeah.
know that's a classic little gotcha that
Right,
we just know
absolutely.
works. And
Right.
so it's been our experience. We add things like that to future rides because we know that it gets people every time.
Like
So-
me.
Now, are the people that develop Gatekeeper still the companies that brought in Blue Streak, Corkscrew? Are those still the companies that do the designing and manufacturing of the rides, or have new companies come in?
Sometimes we worked with Bolliger and Mabiart for Gatekeeper, and they're a manufacturer out of Switzerland. So they're known for just creating these incredibly smooth steel coasters and
Nice.
really unique. They've really been on the cutting edge in the industry. We've
Excellent.
used, for some of our older rides, we've used other manufacturers, but we've loved B&M as they're known in the industry because of rides like the Raptor, which you'll draw a lot of parallels between Raptor and Gatekeeper. You have the same number, 6 inversions. You have that suspension feeling. On Raptor, it's just a little bit different. You're dangling below the track, and on Gatekeeper, you're just right out there on the side of the track on that
And
wing.
it has that hum. There's a
Yes,
hum to those tracks, and it's
yes.
like, woo, this thing's alive.
Yeah, we call it the B&M roar. It's kind of
Nice.
like those dinosaurs back there. It's right on par with what they do back in Adventure Island. But anybody who's ever ridden the Mantis before as well, that stand-up coaster
Yes.
in the middle of the park, can really appreciate a ride like Gatekeeper because it's the same manufacturer. we've known, those are rides that usually have very little downtime. They're
Right.
very reliable. They can move people through incredibly fast. So those are all characteristics that we look for when we're looking for a new coaster at the park or a new ride.
When you do decide that you want to bring in a new attraction, is this like when I go buy a car, I finance it through the bank, or do you guys just lay down the cash and say, this is mine now? How does that work?
Well, I'd like to see that cash just being dropped down by
Me
someone.
too.
Yeah, I have to say that so much of that is done at our company level, and they do a lot, they do a lot of set budget every year for capital expenses like this,
Nice.
capital improvements. So this year, it was company-wide, we had about $100 million that was set aside to reinvest in all of our parks. And
Nice.
Cedar Fair owns 11 all through the country. So they knew, that's a hefty chunk of change, but when you think about the fact that Gatekeeper plus all the main gate renovations we did this year cost about $30 million.
Wow.
Then you can't bring a Gatekeeper to every park every year.
Right.
So you have to spread the wealth and you have to plan ahead 5-10 years in advance. We have some excited folks here.
Sure.
Winner, chicken dinner over there.
I don't know, though. They were talking about the tribe, and you guys are from Michigan.
Oh
So
no, I
They
know about
saw
the
my
tribe. Look, I know
Tigers.
all about the tribe. I
always
used to work at a radio station in Cleveland, and I used to help cover the Cleveland Indians. So I'm all about the tribe.
Oh, good.
There you go.
We used to hang
Trader
out-
Steve.
We used to hang out at Ben Jacobs Field and watch them crack the bat out there. It was Alfred Bell was out there then. Bell is.
That's been a while.
Yeah, that's a while ago. Long time ago.
But if they're spending $30
Jim
million
Tomei and all those guys, that was a while ago.
See,
30
you're an
million-
old guy too.
$30 million of that $100 million being spent on Cedar Point, which meant that there's only $70 million to spend on the other 10 Cedar Fair amusement parks. Did you introduce large rides in any of the other parks this year?
Well, we actually had a couple. We did some big boardwalk renovations at Knott's Berry Farm out in California.
Great.
So that included a wild mouse style ride, similar if people rode the Wildcat in the past here.
I
at Cedar
love
Point.
that ride.
Yeah, that's
It's
a
a
similar
classic.
ride. Yeah.
Your new summer attraction, your new live summer attraction, Daily, took over where the Wildcat used to be.
Oh, yes, Luminosity. It's our new nighttime show. It happens every night at 9:30. Every night except for Tuesdays, they're on. And they just really light up the entire night. It's a great way to just get back together with your whole family, a good meeting place before you head out of the park.
That was our location for a broadcast last year, and it was really wonderful. What a fantastic light show it was.
Well, it
and the
wasn't
number of
just a
people
light-
that gathered was fantastic, and the music as well.
It wasn't just a light show, though.
Oh,
I was surprised
wow.
by the pyrotechnics because, I'm not talking about the fireworks. I'm talking about the big giant flame-throwing torches. Those things are huge. They put off some heat, too.
Oh,
those
yeah.
things.
Oh, yeah, you can feel them.
And then they had the lasers. The lasers are all really cool. And I saw a lot of the stuff going off in the background last night. We were getting ready to get on the Top Thrill Dragster. And as we were in line, we could see the stuff happening in the background there. And I'm like, oh, look, it's the fireworks.
It's a little more than fireworks.
No, the fireworks were later, and the fireworks
yeah.
were really cool.
Now, on Saturdays, you're open until midnight at Cedar Point, right?
We're open until 11.
Till 11 on
Till 11
Saturdays.
on Saturdays. 10 every other night of the week. But it's just, again, Luminosity is just a really nice way to end your day. It gives you just kind of a reinvigoration, just an extra little shot of energy as you
A
get
little
ready
pop
to
as
head.
you exit, right.
Yeah, as you get ready to head to that gate, you might have a couple-hour drive home, and that just will get your energy right back up. We have a live DJ that takes over after the show, so he'll just keep the hits going, and a lot of the performers stick around and they'll dance.
Keep
They'll show
performing
you-
during the people's
yeah,
exit.
they'll work with some of the kids that might be hanging around. They'll show them a few moves.
Really? You can learn
It's
some moves from the Luminosity
yeah,
people?
it's really interactive. You can
bust
tell
a move,
that
Rick.
they
I
haven't.
need some lessons, that's for sure.
Yeah, they haven't worked with you guys yet. I
No,
can tell.
oh no.
You saw me
Oh,
dance
no.
then.
I have the worst white man's overbite in history. So, now, as people come through the park, I noticed you moved some things around a little bit this year. I noticed amongst some of you changed from what soda you used to have in here. You're a Coke place now, Coca-Cola.
Coke and a
We
smile,
are.
baby.
We are, and we know that people will love the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines. People have mentioned that before to us and said, hey, when will you have these? When will you allow us to just mix and match and come up with all these different flavors? And that's what that Freestyle machine lets you do. You can come up with more than 100 different flavors of Coke. You can, if you want a raspberry root beer, it's yours.
That sounds good, actually.
Yeah.
Did anybody test the freestyle Coke machine yet? Because I'm a mellow yellow guy. Do they got the mellow yellow?
You can
in
have
that thing?
raspberry mellow yellow.
You could.
You're making
You
me
can
hungry.
do whatever you like with Coca-Cola Freestyle, but it's nice to have that consistency among all of our parks, which are now Coca-Cola parks. It just makes sure that you know what you're getting every time you come to a Cedar Fair park.
Yes.
You'll see the Peanuts characters, and you can get a cold Coca-Cola.
You always see the Snoopies and the Linuses and the Lucy's.
I love the hedges on the way in.
Hedges on the
Those
way in
are
very
so cool.
You were going to say it. Where's
Camp Snoopy's just fantastic. I walked by there on the way to the train. So many children having a great time in that place.
Yeah, what's nice about Camp Snoopy, Planet Snoopy, and some of our other children's areas is that the parents can actually ride with the kids, which is something that you can't do at every park and every county fair that you go to. A lot of times they have a height limit, and the parents can't go on with the kids. But this is a way where they can really just relive some of their own childhood memories through the kids.
Very family interactive, right?
Now, Ryan, get ready to run camera through. Oh, Ryan's off. He's off chatting with people out in the park. This is how show producers do. He's trying to line something up.
He's doing what he's supposed to do. He's promoting the show.
When we go to break next, Ryan, can you run the camera around so people can see what the park looks like online there?
Take the other camera shot.
Well, it is, but
it's on Max Air.
It's just sitting by itself, staring at the dead Max Air. Put it on something that's moving. That thing is sitting by itself. Oh, never.
It
we'll get
moves.
you going. So now, in a little bit, we'll be talking about the business with the 50th anniversary of the Choo Choo. Tell us about the train that goes around the park and the 50th anniversary.
Sure. Well, the train is something that everybody knows and loves at Cedar Point. And the great thing about it, it's like the great equalizer. No matter who you are, no matter how young or old, everybody can ride the train.
Right.
So it's just a great way to bring the family back together.
It gives you a break, and you still get to cruise around the park.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You do get to see a bit of the nature and wildlife part of the park, and then you get to see the humankind part of the park and the ride kind part of the park. You kind of get a little nickel tour on that thing.
Yeah, it's almost like a preview to Hollow Weekends, too, because you see a lot of skeletons back there.
Oh, they're hiding out back there.
Oh, yeah. That's where we quarantine all of our Hollow Weekends, guys, before Hollow Weekends.
But there's...
Hey, you can't work here yet. You're not skinny enough, Bones.
There you go.
What's wrong with you? Lose a pound or two.
But although in the midst of all these renovations and all the new rides you're bringing in, there are still some classic elements of an amusement park that you always maintain. You've got the Piccadilly Circus type of a fairway going on there, and a main street. There are all kinds of different attractions where people can try their luck at games of chance to win gigantic stuffed bears. The old trains. You're really showing a good respect for tradition and for where Cedar Point came from.
Absolutely, and we really have to honor our history. We've been here for 144 seasons, so it's a very long time. And you know what? If you forget the history, then your future is doomed, because you need to always take it back to why Cedar Point was founded and what it started with, which really essentially was the mile-long beautiful beach on Lake Erie.
It really still is.
That's what brought everyone together and out here in the first place. So we really try to pay tribute and show respect for the beach, preserve the beach as much as we can, and the railroad.
Can people expect to see something? Or you got an attraction that goes along with the 50th anniversary of the train?
We do. If you stop back in the Frontier Town area, you can take some tours of the engine house, and you can also possibly be a guest conductor.
Awesome. We got to run to break. We'll be right back with more of the Political Twist Up Show live from the foot of the Gatekeeper at Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
The Political Twist Up Show.
Get everything you need at Hydrovision Indoor Gardening Centers. It's spring, and it's time you get to planting. And whether you're starting plants indoors for the outdoor season or just making your house more green, the technical experts at Hydrovision stores will help you with indoor design and supply so that your indoor gardening dreams always become reality. Mention my name, Steve Green, for a special discount. Hydrovision Indoor Gardening Centers in Howell, Trenton, Richmond, Fenton, and Belleville, one near you, or check out myhydrovision.com.
At Clio Cultivation, the things that really matter are the best customer service, lowest prices, and a friendlier atmosphere. We share knowledge that will increase your harvest and happiness. Recently, a grower reported double yields in 8 weeks by following our methods of the Garden Sage. We also guarantee the lowest prices on every product every day. When you are here, just smile. Bad days don't exist anymore. Now offering complete 1,000-watt systems for $179, 8-light T5s $189, 16-inch wall mount fans $33.95, Exhale CO2 bags $28, 8-inch Raptors $199, 1,000-watt ballast $89.95, 1,000-watt lamps start at $50, and Happy Frog and Ocean Forest lower than $13.95. Call for details at 810-686-GROW or visit 11394 North Saginaw Road. Weekdays 10 to 7, Saturday 10 to 5. At Clio Cultivation, we know to see it is to believe it.
I'm Landon. I learned CPR at Wayland Union Middle School using the American Heart Association CPR Anytime Kit. I know the signs of a sudden cardiac arrest and know how to push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives.
If a 7th grader can save a life using CPR, isn't it time you learned how? When ordinary people are equipped with the skills to perform CPR, the survival rate can double. Learn how to do this in your community. Visit heart.org to learn more.
The Political Twist Up Radio Show.
All right, we're right back live in front of the Gatekeeper, broadcasting on WFNT in Flint and WTKG in Grand Rapids. Thanks for joining us today. We're sitting here with Annie Zelm. I'm Steve Green with my co-host Rick Thompson. We're talking about the Gatekeeper. We're talking about the 50th anniversary of the train going around the tracks in the park here. Is there a name for that train? What's it called?
It's a Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad. So we have actually a number of we have several trains that are operating now. One of them is named for our former CEO, his wife, Judy Kinzel. It's we call it the Judy K. So you'll look and see that all of these trains kind of have their own little character. We have names for each of them. We have the Myron H., the George R., which is named for George Roos, the founder of the Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad, and the Albert, which you'll see is on display. It's not one of our running trains, but it was in operation until 1991.
Whoa. It's a windy day here, and I'm so thankful for it because it's also a steamy day. It's a nice day out here. If you enjoy summer fare in the heat of summertime, one of the best places you can come is to a roller coaster park, and Cedar Point has that wrapped up. I'm saying at least, I don't know, there's no place in the whole nation that has more roller coasters than Cedar Point.
Nope. And also, you mentioned steam. Steam is the power for those engines at the railroad too. I was at one of those too. The coal that's still using coal-fired steam engines. I saw a plaque that said only 3 other places in the entire United States still do that.
Yes, it's one of the few that are left.
Wow. This is still a coal-fired engine?
Still a coal-fired engine, yeah.
Wow.
So we've kept it really authentic to when it was founded, and we've just tried to keep the look and the feel of the train very classic. Still looks like it did in 1963, although they've maintained the paint.
I figured there was a steam puffer in there that was electric. I was running on some electric grid.
It's all still a coal-fired engine.
That's all very, very authentic. The technologies, the tools they use, everything is very authentic.
I'm going to show some pictures while we're talking about this. Rick went out and took some pictures. So I'm putting these online for the people who are watching us on politicaltwistup.com. Looking at the pictures that Rick took. Now, what's this Finch's Detroit Special over? What's this?
Those
is this like some advertising signs?
Yep, some old school advertisements that are there just to get you in the mood for when trains really ruled the nation and back when this whole thing got going 50 years ago.
Now, this one is the train itself that we're showing.
That's actually the demonstration train. Yes. Gatekeeper. Right.
Gatekeeper. People are loving the Gatekeeper. Here's another. Keep showing the pictures of the train.
Exactly.
Now,
there's a display train, and then there's the working trains, but also the train house is open too, which is rather unusual.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to walk through that engine house?
I sure did. What a cool little step back in history that is too.
The engine house.
It's amazing how much work goes into cleaning and.
Oh, that's the coal. I've got a picture of the coal up there.
That's right.
That's some burned coal. Looks like it's burned.
No, it's actually supposed to be a black coal, but I used the flash on that photo, so it looks.
It's kind of paled out from the flash.
That's correct. It's politically correct coal.
So now, what else is going on out at the park here today? I know that you've got some programs for families. You've also got some drink programs that you can buy a ticket combined with an all-day kind of wet drink. I mean, you can fill it up with drinks of your choice at the fountains, right?
Sure. If you buy one of the souvenir cups, you can get refills for just 99 cents from here on out. Today, the refills would be free, and then whenever you come back, you can just buy them for $1, which really will save you a lot of money in the long haul. But one thing I want to mention with the train, we'll be actually commemorating it today, tomorrow, and all year. So if you have kids especially, or if you have that train buff in your family.
I was a train buff when I was a kid.
Maybe it's grandpa, maybe it's your father. It's a great way to showcase what we have in the history here. We are recruiting guest conductors every day in the park.
Really?
To get a chance to sit up front with the conductor, ring the bell. You'll actually take home a souvenir conductor's hat, a little commemorative pin, and you'll get to just be part of that whole experience. You get to sign your name on this
and
giant...
it's a real train. It's
you're really
coal-fired train.
Hundreds of people's lives are in your hands.
Why did we not talk about that first? That was great information.
Sorry.
Right. I mean, that's what I wanted to know. If I knew I could come and conduct the train,
I'm frothing.
Frothing. Are you going to get you wouldn't have the engineer's cap, you'd have the dunce cap. You'd have the pointy thing on the...
No, I can drive anything with a motor.
But not if you're frothing at the mouth.
Straight off the tracks.
Well...
Now, how can people, if they want to... Now, how do you become a candidate to become a guest conductor? Do they just pick you out of the park, or do they just pick you out of the... Hey, you, Hollywood, come here. You look like an engineer.
You know what? They'll look for those people who look most excited. Maybe if you show up and you have like some sort of train memorabilia, you come with like a model train or
you're wearing bib overalls, perhaps.
Yeah, you know what?
The bib overalls seem very popular at the train yard.
You fit in back at the train, and you maybe
you got some coal dust on your hands and on your cheeks.
Come in with a flat shovel.
I know where Steve's going after the show. He's gonna make his way back there.
I love to shovel.
Yeah, we'll just select people every day.
I'm trying to get Ryan ready. He's the one that wants to jump on.
I am ready. I want to drive that thing. That's so neat.
Look, I drove the train at Cedar Point. How cool is that?
There's not too many people can say that. They can say, I rode the Raptor, I rode the Magnum, but
I got a t-shirt that says that.
It's the only ride, by the way, that we allow guest conductors on. You won't see them on Gatekeeper. We don't have a guest operator on Gatekeeper.
Pretty sure that's a licensed position up there.
Good idea with that one. That's a smart one.
And I appreciate that,
too. I'm happy to come to Cedar
too.
Point because of that reason, yes, thank you.
Now that I know that, I feel more comfortable riding the ride. I thought
I
Pee Wee
have to
Herman was
say,
up there with the controls.
I'm looking behind you, Steve, and we got quite a crew of trivia people.
We got a stack of people standing up here, so why don't we start asking some trivia questions? Because, they could be in line in there, I guess.
All right, well, I'm going to have them sit at the seat here.
I was people walking by, but if they're willing to sit by and stand by to
people
get
love the
onto
political twist-up show. They're willing to wait with us.
If they want to get a walk onto the front of the park and they're willing to sit here, I'm willing to have them on.
Well, I'm going to bring up the first guest here and get your question ready, and let's do it.
Call them the Sunburn Squad because they're sitting in the torture.
We'll find out who it is, where they're from, and what they know about the park for sure. We're going to shake them down for what they know about the park. So you're listening live on WTKG and WFNT in Flint and Grand Rapids, Michigan, respectively, to the Political Twist-Up Show, where we're live at Cedar Point, right on the point, near the lake. The Gatekeeper fronts the lake. And we're sitting here getting ready to ask some people some questions so we can get them a walk-on. As soon as the program ends at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
I have Connor here. He's ready.
Cotter, where are you from? Tell us where you're from, Cotter.
I'm from Brooklyn, Michigan.
Brooklyn, Michigan. All right.
Yeah.
Did you come out here today, yesterday?
I came here today.
Came here today. All right. Have you been on the ride before?
Yes, I have.
You have. So we're going to ask you a question and see if you know the answer to it. Well, does he get us a backup question? How are we going to do this? Does he get just one shot, one crack? All right.
Let's go for it.
All right. So you may know that the Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad is celebrating its 50th anniversary. How long is the railroad? It stretches from back in near Millennium Forest all the way to the back of the park. And how long is that?
All right.
Well, that's a tough question. I wouldn't know the answer to this.
Do I have to, what intervals you want me in, miles or?
Yeah, it's, if you can guess.
Or yards or, all right, I'd say.
Is it,
about
less than a mile, more than? You are very, very close.
It's
about 1.7 miles.
Oh, you got to give that to him.
Let's give it to
All right,
him.
Connor.
Yes.
Very nice.
Connor from Michigan gets a walk on
Gets
the
to
ride.
ride the ride for free.
We
Great
have
job.
limited
Hang tight
space.
with us, and about a little after 4, we'll get everybody up on Gatekeeper.
All right, sweet. Thanks, you guys.
Hang out.
How's the next guy?
Get to chill out with his friends on the side here and have a seat while we get...
We have Jared.
Jared, tell us where you're from.
I'm from Brooklyn, Michigan.
Also, he's with his buddy. So tell us, what's the question, Annie?
So, how many, if you had to guess, and we'll let you just get as close as you can to this number, but the Cedar Point Lake Erie Railroad has approximately how many railroad ties? If you think of that 1.7 miles, it's a very long railroad. Wow. How many
That's like
individual
pick-em-up
railroad
sticks.
ties
How many jelly beans are in the
that?
thing?
How long?
It's almost 2 miles long. How many
We know it's
railroad
1.7
ties
miles,
do you
so how many
think?
ties would they need in 1.7 miles?
I say like 230.
It's up a little bit more.
Uh-oh. You only get one strike. You want to get back in line and to try a different question? We might have time for you.
We can have you take a higher. I'll just let you know it's higher.
Oh.
It's definitely higher. A lot.
A lot. A lot is way
it's
higher.
In the thousands.
Oh, okay. Like 1,200.
Oh, higher.
1,400.
1,400. Oh,
50.
Even higher.
1,400.
Oh, I heard it there and there.
Oh no.
4,000.
The 4,000.
Yes.
You got it
How
right
did you come
on.
up with that answer? What a fantastic guess.
We're still back at 1,500.
Excellent.
We don't just paint the ticket directly on his
Way
back.
to go.
All right, we have Josh. Let's see how Josh does. Come on, Josh.
So we got Josh. Tell us where you're from. Are you from Brooklyn too?
I am also from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn, Michigan. Josh,
Yes, sir.
got a question from Annie Zelm at Cedar Point.
All right.
So as we're talking about the railroad, we're just going on with that theme.
All right.
There is a mythical little town that we take you through when you're riding the train.
Oh, man.
Do you remember what that town is called? It's made up, I'll give you a hint, it's made up of all kinds of very skeletal people who look like they've been dead a long
I know
time.
the answer to this.
Ew, man. I'm thinking it's on the tip of my tongue here, but is it Boneland? Or
Boneville.
Boneville.
You got it.
That's close enough. Sure, you can get on the ride.
Awesome.
Also
Thank
would have
you very
accepted
much.
Bone City.
Yeah, Bone City. Yeah, Bone Village.
Bone
all that.
Town, Funky
Tim
Town.
Horton's fantasy, or not Tim Horton, I'm thinking of
Oh.
She's hungry. Annie's hungry.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Speaking of hungry,
Speaking-
Johnny
we
Rockets
got
in
three
here.
out. We have a limited number of seats. We have a total of 10 seats. We got 3 down. That's 7 to go.
All right, we have Sean here.
Tell me.
All right,
I bet you, Sean. Wait a minute, Sean. Are you also from Brooklyn, Michigan?
Yes, I am.
You are disqualified. No, I'm just kidding. Hang on for a second, Sean. We got to run to break. We'll be right back. We're getting people on the ride, right to the front of the ride at the brand new Gatekeeper in Cedar Point at Sandusky, Ohio, live on the Political Twist Up Show. It's the Multimedia Digital Network. We'll be right back. Stand by.
The Political Twist Up Show.
At Clio Cultivation, the things that really matter are the best customer service, lowest prices, and a friendlier atmosphere. We share knowledge that will increase your harvest and happiness. Recently, a grower reported double yields in 8 weeks by following our methods of the Garden Sage. We also guarantee the lowest prices on every product every day. When you are here, just smile. Bad days don't exist anymore. Now offering complete 1,000-watt systems for $179, 8-light T5s $189, 16-inch wall mount fans $33.95, Exhale CO2 bags $28, 8-inch Raptors $199, 1,000-watt ballast $89.95, 1,000-watt lamps start at $50, and Happy Frog and Ocean Forest lower than $13.95. Call for details at 810-686-GROW or visit 11394 North Saginaw Road. Weekdays 10 to 7, Saturday 10 to 5. At Clio Cultivation, we know to see it is to believe it.
Get everything you need at Hydrovision Indoor Gardening Centers. It's spring, and it's time you get to planting. And whether you're starting plants indoors for the outdoor season or just making your house more green, the technical experts at Hydrovision stores will help you with indoor design and supply so that your indoor gardening dreams always become reality. Mention my name, Steve Green, for a special discount. Hydrovision Indoor Gardening Centers in Howell, Trenton, Richmond, Benton, and Belleville, one near you, or check out myhydrovision.com.
The The Political Twist Up Radio Show.
Back live on the Multimedia Digital Network. Thanks for joining us in front of the Gatekeeper at Cedar Point, broadcasting on politicaltwistup.com today. We are asking Sean a question to see if he knows some Cedar Point trivia, to see if we can't get him on the front of the ride. It's a walk-on. Ask your question with Annie Zelm here from Cedar Point.
All right, Sean, you're wearing a track shirt, so I'm hoping that a sports question is up your alley.
Okay.
Now,
I'm hoping so.
hopefully. And the Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad at one time was just very briefly owned by a sports team here in Ohio. Do you happen to know which sports team briefly owned the Cedar Point and Lake Erie Railroad in 1966?
I honestly have no clue.
It's an Ohio
or if
sports
you can
team.
guess an Ohio sports team.
He's like he's from Michigan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Cities in Ohio
Would
include
it be a college
Cleveland
team or just like a
Cincinnati.
high school or something?
It's,
Oh, he's
it's a
getting
big-
help.
It's
He's
one
getting-
of the well-known.
he's got a phone a
sports-
friend.
This is the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland
Hey!
Browns.
Hey!
The phone a friend works.
All right, the Brooklyn guys all seem to have made it.
It was like some Family Feud. They all conferred and then whispered it in his ear.
That's
So
right.
we could have had a linebacker operating our train to this very day, and although that's not the case, we still have all of our conductors.
Wow. And you might have a guest conductor.
We might have a guest conductor. We might have Steve running the train.
So
I
we
would
got
not
four
recommend
down,
riding the
four
train
down,
then.
6 to go, and a few minutes left on the show. Let's see who else we can get on the front of the gate.
We have Will.
Will, is he also from Brooklyn, Michigan? No. Hey, we switched it up.
Where are you from, Will?
I moved to Youngstown,
Right,
Ohio.
right close to the mic, please.
Yeah, I moved to Youngstown, Ohio, probably about a year ago.
Where are you from? Outside of Youngstown?
No, I'm originally from Dallas, Texas.
I got noticed the southern drawl.
Yes.
All right, you're a two-stater.
We got a question for you to get on front of the Gatekeeper if you can figure out the answer to Annie Zelm's question.
Well, I will ask a question now related to Gatekeeper as we're all just getting charged up and ready to ride. At the beginning of this season, we announced how much it costs to build Gatekeeper. Do you have an idea, close guess, to what it cost us to build?
It'd have to be in the millions.
It's a good place to start.
In the millions?
15, no, probably more than that. Probably more than 15 million. A lot more. 100 million?
Little less.
A little less.
80 million?
Little less.
Uh-oh.
50?
Oh, come on.
It was about $30 million.
Really? 30 million.
I'd have hit the red X by now.
$30
million. Wow.
Well, can we let him on the ride?
We should.
He gave a lot
Get him
of
on the
good
ride. We got
guesses.
6 spots.
Sure,
We'll give him
come
one.
on down.
So we got 5 spots to go. To the front of
Congratulations, Will.
We have Samantha.
Samantha. Where are you from, Samantha? Tell us where you came from today.
Youngstown, Ohio.
Youngstown, Ohio. Another Youngstownite. So, got a question for you?
This one also relates to Gatekeeper. And have you been on the ride yet? No. So she may not know this. We actually talked about this a little earlier in the show, but Gatekeeper takes you upside down many times. Can you tell us how many inversions, how many times you're upside down on Gatekeeper?
6 maybe.
6. You got it.
Yeah.
Wow,
6
great.
inversions.
Woo! Fantastic.
So
we didn't even have to cheat that
experiencing
time.
all of those 6
Wow.
inversions with us in
That
just a
was
couple of
great.
minutes.
We got 4 spots left. Boy, that ride's making me sick. Spinning around in front of us.
We have Stephanie coming up.
Max Air. It's making me tick-tock. I can't ride
Let's
that
pay
ride.
attention to Stephanie.
All right,
Hi,
Stephanie. Come on over. Stephanie, where are you from, hon?
Canton, Ohio.
Canton, Ohio. Tell us what the question is, Annie.
Okay, so also keeping in line with the Gatekeeper theme, Gatekeeper's first lift hill, its lift hill is how tall?
I know it.
50 feet.
It's a little more than 50,
75.
a little more than 75.
100.
Add some on there.
150.
Very close. A little higher.
170.
170.
There you
Yes. All right. Good job.
Thank you.
There's another one riding the Gatekeeper with the Twist Up Show.
Very cool.
All right, we have Nick now coming up.
All right, so Nick, you got to tell us where you're from, Nick.
Valley City, Ohio.
Valley City, Ohio. We got a question for you to get you on the front of the Gatekeeper. Cedar Point Trivia with Annie Zelm.
Can you tell us where Gatekeeper was manufactured? It's a manufacturer, and I will tell you, they are not in the United States. We worked with a well-known manufacturer to build Gatekeeper. Can you tell us the manufacturer or where they're from?
He says California. It's not an American company, California.
How about China?
They were not from China.
Not from China.
I'm hearing some
Switzerland.
Switzerland.
All right, phone a friend once again.
The
You gotta,
phone a friend is
my
a
friend,
win.
you're like going to be hired as a professional phone a friend from now on.
50-50 right? Can I use your lifeline?
He gets 4 free rides.
We'll let you win.
No
Yep.
lifeline. How many tickets have we given away so far?
We have Brittany up here
Wait,
next.
how many we got? We got 7 down. We got 3 left. Is that what we got?
All right then.
Brittany, are you going to be one of our 3 riders left?
Yes, I hope so.
Where are you from, hun?
Seven Hills, Ohio.
7 Hills out near Cleveland.
Oh, yes.
Okay, get a little closer to the mic, please. There you go. So we got a question.
So here's a question for you. Have you been on Gatekeeper yet?
Yes, this is actually my first roller coaster. I've never been to Cedar Point.
Wow.
Oh, fantastic.
Did you happen to see, when you were in line, did you happen to see how many seats are on one train of Gatekeeper?
Ooh, I think I know.
20?
It's a little more than 20.
Higher.
26.
Way higher, a little higher.
Really? 32.
Oh, that's it.
32 it
That's
is. Fantastic.
Got 32 seats on each side. You got 16 on each side.
How are we doing on time, Steve?
We got about 6 minutes left in the show.
Good.
So we got 2 riders left.
All right.
There were no losers to this event today.
I have Nick.
Look, why didn't I get
Nick.
on this contest? There's no losers.
Hello, Nick.
So, Nick, tell us where you're from, buddy.
I'm from Valley City, Ohio.
Valley City again.
Valley City is in the house.
area.
Yeah,
You're
get the
representing today.
Give us a woo, woo, woo for Valley City. Woo, woo, woo. There we go.
That's like dog pound.
Not an oof. You don't do oof, you do woo. Anyway.
Dog pound.
There you go. Dog pound, the Cleveland Dog Pound.
Can you name one of the inversions on Gatekeeper? We have all kinds of different inversions, different maneuvers on Gatekeeper, and they're all called different special names. Can you name one of them?
Ooh. Got to get real close to the mic.
Like a spiral flip, maybe?
We have something very similar to a spiral flip.
Does the
How
phone a
about
friend know? Does phone a friend know? No.
Corkscrew, how about that one?
We do have that.
Hey!
Very nice.
Very
That's
nice.
one of the inversions, the corkscrew inversion.
Yes.
All right. The phone a friend, I'm telling you, he's down. You should hire him at Cedar Point. He knows everything.
All right, we have our final contestant, Caleb.
So we got 9 in.
Hi, Caleb.
Caleb is the last one.
Caleb, it looks like you're number 10, buddy. What's the question for
You look
Caleb?
like you know a couple things about Gatekeeper.
I might know a few.
You might know a few. Okay. Can you tell us roughly when we started construction on Gatekeeper?
Do I give a month or just a year?
About the month.
About the month?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. It's 2013. I heard about it towards about November 2011.
That is true. That is correct. We actually started preparing the site right after we closed for the season last October, and starting in November, we had it going. So
Smart Ohioans here.
So we
They're
got
nailing these
congratulations,
contests.
you guys. Thanks for playing with us.
Hey,
Cedar
good
Point
job,
Trivia.
guys. Hey,
got
can we
10
pan
people.
the camera over and get a picture of all of the guys going
let's see
on?
if we get the we'll get
Hey, all
you
you winners, gather up so we can get you on the camera.
getting all the here's the guys.
That's right. All the winners, gather up.
These are the guys that are going getting a good ride on the
That's
front of the Cedar
right.
Point.
We got them. They're all
We're gonna give 'em all
close.
a free ride.
So now we're having a good time out here. Tell us look at them.
It's turning into a madhouse.
It's like Good Morning America out here.
It's
now,
good afternoon, Cedar Point.
It is good afternoon, Cedar Point. So now tell us, there's some other plans and programs and stuff you guys have. Tell us about that information.
Only 2 minutes left.
Sure. Okay, I'll talk fast. So we have a couple of things still coming up this season. We have next week a celebration of another anniversary, another big milestone. If you're a football fan, you know all about the forward pass. That's a big deal, a really important strategy in football, and it was perfected here on Cedar Point's beach
we know by
100 years ago.
Oh, we know by who. I don't.
Oh, yeah, and you can tell us.
No, I don't. Rick, tell him.
Oh, that would have been a good
I'm
trivia
glad
question.
he didn't ask me because I don't
I've
know.
heard the name, but
it was me. I swear. It
I'm
was me.
sports
We have a lot of people taking credit for it. It was Newt Rockney.
That's it.
Nice.
Somebody told me that yesterday, and I said, really? Newt Rockney used to work
And
on
Gus
got a K in
Dorace.
his
Yeah,
name.
he
It's
used to
really
work here 100 years ago. He worked here as a lifeguard and actually met his wife on the Cedar Point beach, working here as well. So, but he and Gus Dorace perfected that forward pass on our beach, and we are bringing back their grandchildren next week next Friday we are having a forward pass ceremony and just some special things going on.
So like a little
little
like
rock
a dedication kind of thing.
Recreating that forward pass.
Annie, tell them one more time how they can get discount passes, or they can buy tickets in advance.
CedarPoint.com.
There we go.
Annie,
thank you so much for having us out
What
here.
a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You're a great host as always, and this came to you from the Iron Lab Studios in Walled Lake, Michigan.
That's right.
Fantastic. And thanks again to all the people that participated in our game, and of course to all of the staff that have been more than generous to help us here at Cedar Point to get the broadcast up.
While everybody else hangs out where you're at, we're going to go ride the Gatekeeper. Get on the front of the ride right now. Thanks for joining us on the Political Twist Up Show. It is the Multimedia Digital Network. We'll see you next time.
Multimedia Digital Network.